All right, you guys, what's going on? It's your boy Town Biz. So I told you I'm knocking out these lives tonight. So I'm gonna do a couple of more of these because it's just gonna take too long to record a video, edit it, and load it and all that kind of stuff. So, but with that being said, I just want to talk about Teofimo Lopez, Tia female Lopez. At the end of the day, completely exposed. He got everything he wanted. He asked for more money. He asked for more, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to get more publicity. He wanted to get more promotion. He asked for everything and it was granted for him. Complained about everything. Even though this man, like I said, was fighting in ballrooms, in gymnasiums and stuff like that. Complained about how he should get this amount of money per fight. So he basically turned down $11 million. He said out of his own mouth, he not selling his soul for $11 million. At the end of the day, Teofimo just exposed himself as a yellow belly coward. He all talk, no bark. He talks all this stuff about black people. He makes fun of black people. He disrespect black people. And then you had those two house niggas and the Charlos making excuses for him, condoning his racism. And you can send this to the Charlo brothers too. Tell both of them to stop talking all that tough talk because we all know that they ain't go bust a grape. Don't threaten Bill. Like I said, you sat up there and got the black slapped out of you by Caleb Plant, and then you offering to, be a model for his clothing line. Man, what kind of sucker shit is that? So, I ain't even trying to hear that, but I just wanted to put that out there on the side note. Teofimo, all these years been making these racial endos, talking about bananas and monkeys and all this stuff, but he had a chance to get in the ring and prove that he a boss, and then he punks out of the fight. Straight punks out of the fight, and it is just no excuse. But people will find a way to try to blame this on Deb. Oh man, nobody don't want to see. Can you blame him? And here's the thing: this is why I know that he wasn't really gonna fight Boots. That he just be clout chasing. Now, here's the thing: they asked for the fight at 147. Team Haney said, "Let's fight at full-fledged welterweight. Let's fight at 140." Let's fight at 147. Teal says, "Nah, I want it to be at 140." So then they agree to a catch weight at 145. Okay, well, if you don't want to fight Devin at 147, what weight class was you expecting to fight Boots at? So this tells me what I was telling my homeboy, YSM, what I was telling Jamil. T.O. was going to sign to fight Boots, and he was going to back out of the fight and fake an injury. He got exposed. Why do you have a problem fighting Devin Haney at 147? Now, remember, you say Devin Haney can't crack an egg. So why would 147 be a problem? But you supposed to want to go up to 147 to fight Boots. So that just tells me that you had no intention on fighting Boots, just like you don't want to fight Bud. It was just cap. You were just clout chasing. You were just name dropping to keep your name out there, to keep the media talking about you. Okay? You was going to get paid $11 million. And to be honest with you, you can make an argument that's money that you don't deserve. Okay? Because you can't sell no tickets. Like I said, you can't sell out the lobby at Jack in the Box. I'm talking about that's life-changing money. Turkey was going to generously pay you $11 million. And you turned it down. Talking about that ain't nobody gonna tell you what to do or dictate your career. Listen, you just didn't want the smoke. You just don't believe in yourself. Just like now, all of a sudden, Ryan Garcia didn't disappear. Ryan Garcia is talking about he gonna take possibly a year off, or he may take a year off. What it is, Ryan Garcia's confidence is shaking now that he can, use that juice. And Teofimo, what it was, he didn't have the confidence. He was like, okay, what if I lose this fight? I done said all this stuff. I done said all this racist stuff, and then I end up losing. I'm gonna look terrible. And it just goes to show you he don't stand on nothing. And that's a straight coward move. You know, for the most part, social media have been pretty quiet. And for people say, well, I believe T.O. can beat Devin Haney. Well, why don't he sign the contract then? Everything that he was bitching about, you know, everything that he was bitching about, he got accommodated. Money, notoriety, he got everything that he asked for. And he backed out of the fight, refused to sign his contract. Now, what he's gonna do? He gonna fight somebody else. You know, he gonna fight a lesser opponent. He may fight somebody that may be aging a little bit. He don't want to fight a prime black fighter. And if he and here's the thing, Devin Haney is supposed to be such damaged goods. When you take advantage of that, he was trying to insinuate that Devin Haney was damaged goods. He got his bluff called, and that's all that happened. Hamza, me and you need to be honest. He was gonna get overpaid. He was gonna get overpaid. He was gonna get over 11 million. That's like 10 times more than you ever made in a fight. And you turned it down because you didn't have the cojones. Because you were scared that you was gonna get beat by this black fighter. And you knew that you would be letting down all those races. You knew you would be letting down the races and the coons that support you, like the Charlos. Too much pressure mounted, and you couldn't handle it. So you was like, and he just flat out just backed out of the fight. I mean, he didn't come up with no elaborate scheme or no elaborate storyline like the Schofields did. He just said, I ain't doing it. I'm good. I'm good. He was like, I'm good. He was like, nah, he like, I'm good on this. So, you know what I'm saying? So all that stuff, all them those banana innuendos and all this kind of stuff, and where and we know he said the N word. He didn't say where the liquor at. He know damn well what he said. He just really thought about it. But then again, he just proved what a punk he is. Now I know why Teofimo's ex-wife, took his money and spent it on a black dude, because I heard she with a black dude now. And got his son around a black dude. So, I understand, Tio. I know why you have this vitriol and borderline dislike and disdain for black people, because in all likely some black dude is piping your ex-wife down and spending your money, that you paying her for child support. She had, when you when you went to her Instagram, her handle said Teofimo's ex-wife who got him for millions of dollars. So she said that. So your ex-wife don't even respect you, bro. So once again, that says a lot about your character, man. You, like, for real, you, like, maybe your wife gave us a prelude to what type of cat you is. Maybe she knew all along. That's why she the ex-wife. Like, bro, like, straight bitch move. And he can't talk his way. He can't talk his way out of it. How can anybody respect him after this? What's his excuse gonna be? Why would anybody want to do interviews with him? Like he said, if you think he a racist, don't ask him for no interview. Well, I don't need to do no interviews with you. You already showed me that you and your father on some weird on some racial stuff. And I don't care about you being born in New York or whatever the case may be. You ain't black and you ain't got no fucking N-word pass. Cause I'm gonna keep that 100 because it's time for black people to stop with this so-called N-word pass. Just because somebody listened to black music and all that stuff and went and seen Sinners, that don't make them one of us. And we got to stop doing this stuff, being easily moved by that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't seen white movies before. I didn't, I used to like this song by AC/DC called Back in Black, but hey, ain't nobody made me an honorary white person, not that I want to be one. I ain't been invited to nothing. I ain't been invited to no bar mitzvahs. I ain't been invited to nothing. But then again, I wouldn't accept one to begin with. I'm just saying, I don't need to go to none of that stuff. I'm cool with the barbecue that have people that look like me. So I'm just saying, I keep it black and that's where it's at. Ain't got nothing against nobody else. I'm just saying. You got to be careful because I don't want nobody to accuse me of hate speech, which I'm just saying. I don't get, I don't need to go to none of them places. I don't, even though I don't need to. I ain't trying to go. I ain't asking for an invite. I'm happy in the space that I am. So I'm just saying that about Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, he tried to lie and say that didn't happen, but Keyshawn said it happened. And like I said, I got the interview in its entirety, like why I don't mess with Teofimo and his father, because his father, who many people believe is a suspected, he liked to toot toot, he liked to play with his nose. He's suspected of doing that. He did an interview with me, and at first it was going well, and then Teofimo came, and I was being condescended when I was doing the interview. They started talking all this stuff about Bud, and I'm just going along with it. I'm going, and you know how you go, but it's that, yeah, right, like you like being condescended, and then all of a sudden, he says the N-word, and this happened in December. I still got the interview. I didn't want to post it. I still got the entire interview. I'm talking about, man, it made me mad as hell. I'm talking about, I was so mad when he said that. I wanted to lose it. But we was in an upscale hotel in Phoenix, and I wasn't going out like that. But yeah, his father pissed me off when he said that. I got the whole interview in its entirety. My man YSM, he got the entire interview. If ask him to post the interview, it's up to him. And I'm just showing y'all that I ain't desperate for views. I ain't clout chasing. I could have posted that. I could have got probably like 100,000 views. Maybe I don't know. I haven't talked to, I don't know. Maybe I'll send it to Dante or have somebody send it to Dante. If Dante want the interview in its entirety, tell Dante to get at me, because Dante changed his number. And I got proof that Teofimo and his father is racist. So yeah, he do be dropping the N bomb, and it ain't no difference. At the end of the day, it ain't no different between the ER and the A, because at the end of the day, you're not black. So you shouldn't be saying that word. But my thing is, what if we start returning fire? So just putting that out there. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'm gonna reset. I'll be back shortly.